Hey everyone, this is Pugs, and today I am starting Oracle Week by Orphan Account. The first work in the Oracle verse is 25 chapters with 36,508 words. It is finished. However, the second work, Oracle, oh my god, is unfinished with 12 chapters and 14,000 words. I haven't decided if I want to do that one yet. I haven't even finished Oracle Week yet, so we'll see how it goes. Izuku Midoriya couldn't become a hero. Everyone in his life told him he couldn't, but they never said anything about becoming a vigilante. And after one life-changing event, he might just take up on that offer. All he needs is someone in his corner, and if he can't become a hero, then he sure as hell can become a vigilante. Or Izuku takes Bakugou's advice, and it changes his life for the better. Now, I don't know all of the trigger warnings right now, but I will have them both in the comments and in the description, so please make sure to look at that. I do know there is suicide baiting and attempted suicide, and possibly suicidal thoughts and behaviors.
There is also the standard bullying and swearing too, so don't forget about those.
Chapter 1, I'm weak. Izuku Midoriya was not having a good day. Granted, the start of his day was relatively normal. He was tripped, called names, Kacchan threatened him. All normal behavior. The day got much, much worse near the end of school, though. The teacher read out with a sneer that Izuku was applying to UA, and Izuku tried to shrink in on himself. The teacher didn't even care when Kacchan stood up and strode towards Izuku, rage seeping off his form. Nobody made a move to stop him as he strode up to Izuku and picked him up from the front of his school coat. Izuku was left in the classroom bruised after school ended, packing his stuff. As he went to stuff his notebook into his bag, it was snatched up by two very long fingers. Izuku looked up and saw Kacchan standing there, looking down at the notebook. He gave an angry and blew it up, before throwing it out the window. Izuku was used to losing notebooks to Kacchan, but he wasn't used to the words that came after. Go take a swan dive off the roof and hope for a quirk in your next pathetic life. There Izuku Midoriya sat, skin more bruised and scarred than normal skin, shaken to the core by his childhood best friend telling him to kill himself. He felt numb. Sure, he had been told to kill himself before, but not by Kacchan. Izuku didn't even remember when he left the school and started walking home. Didn't even realize until he felt sewage start to enter his mouth and suffocate him. Izuku Midoriya felt numb. His hero, All Might, had just deflated in front of him. He went on about how 6 years ago he suffered some great injury that took out half of his lung and his stomach. Something like that. Izuku was too shocked to comprehend it fully. After All Might had finished, Izuku tried to bring himself back to the present so he could ask his question. Sir, can someone who's quirkless like me become a hero? Izuku had a bit of hope showing on his face, but it was all right. This was his chance to affirm his dreams. No. With one word, Izuku's world shattered. All Might looked pained, but he continued. It's too dangerous for someone without a quirk. I'm sorry, but you can't be a hero. Maybe you should look into other heroic professions. Maybe try being a therapist or a police officer. The boys in blue get a lot of slack for having villains handed to them, but it's a job that is invaluable to us heroes. I truly am sorry, my boy, but I must be going. Have a nice day. All Might strode past Izuku, leaving the boy standing in the same spot. He didn't cry. He didn't have enough energy to cry. He just wanted out. As he stepped towards the edge of the railing, he set his bag down and took off his red shoes. He climbed over the railing and looked down over the railing. Go throw yourself off a roof. I'm sorry, but you can't be a hero. I'm sorry, Izuku. I'm so sorry. Izuku leaned over the railing, leaned forward, and finally let himself fall. Maybe he'd get a quirk in his next pathetic life. Inko was worried sick. Her son had been missing for 3 days with practically zero trace of him missing. A knock on her door every other hour, every time getting her hopes up and shattering those hopes with pain. "I'm sorry, ma'am." It was frustrating. Her little baby Izuku was missing and she couldn't do anything. Another knock on her door had her have a small hope in her chest, but it was snuffed out as soon as she opened the door. The plain-looking detective Tsukauchi took off his hat and bowed. "Ma'am, I'm very sorry. I frankly have no idea how to tell you this, so I'll be blunt. You're aware of the quirkless death rate, yes?" Inka wanted to cry. She wanted to break down into tears, start screaming, grab the detective by the shoulders, and beg for him to say it was just a joke, that her baby Izuku was actually right around the corner, but his expression was dead serious. All she could do was nod. "There is an 87% chance that a quirkless child will die due to a hate crime or suicide before the age of 18, and we suspect Izuku was part of this 87%. Due to there being no evidence of a hate crime, we have deemed it as suicide. The body was never found." Shukachi lifted his head to look at Inko, who felt like she was barely holding on by a thread. The detective continued, guilt written all over his face. "If, in case it was a hate crime, you would like to go into some sort of witness protection, we can arrange that. We have several other quirkless people and parents of deceased quirkless children in that program. We also provide some sort of therapy." "Yes," Inko decided before she realized that she was talking. She felt like someone else had taken control of her body to make the decision. "All right. We can get you into the program as soon as tomorrow. Just give us a call when you'd like us to pick you up. We'll sell your house and provide a cover story that you moved away." Tsukauchi walked away before turning around to look at her. "I am truly sorry that you had to go through this. No parent should need to hear what I told you." Inko stood there for a minute before she heard a familiar voice. "Jesus, what happened with that asshole? Why'd he look so down?" Inko looked up to see Mitsuki walking with her towards her with 2 cupcakes in hand. As she looked at Inko's face, her eyes widened and she ran towards her. "Oh God! Oh no, no, no! Inko, please, please tell me Izuku is all right." "Mitsuki." Inko felt a tear roll down her cheek for the first time since she got the news. "He's dead. He either was killed in a hate crime or he killed himself." Mitsuki stared at her before ushering the woman to sit down on the stairs with her. They sat down, and Mitsuki gave Inko a cupcake, who gladly ate it while crying. "Inko, I am so sorry. He was such a sweet boy. I can help bury him if you'd like." "They never found his body. They think he either died in seclusion or the killer took his body as a trophy." Inko felt empty, a life without her precious Izuku, her baby. Mitsuki gasped and hugged her tightly. "I'm going into a witness protection type program to keep me safe. I'll see if I can keep in contact. Can you tell Akatsuki too? They were best friends, and I'm sure he'd like to know." "Of course, Inko. I'd do anything for you. Do you want to come over to our place? I can make you something." Mitsuki asked, rubbing circles on her back. Inko shook her head. "I have to get packed for tomorrow. I appreciate the offer, though." Mitsuki helped her up and strode inside her house. Then I'm gonna help you pack and you can't stop me." Izuku woke up with stabbing pain in the back of his head and his left arm, and a brick pillow propping his head up. He sat up, his ribs hating the action, and rubbed the back of his head with his right arm. He was startled out of his thoughts by an odd noise. He looked over to a boy about his age with purple hair and prominent eye bags, reading over a book. He looked up to Izuku and raised an eyebrow. "Morning, suicidal beauty." Chapter 2. I Should Stay Strong. Izuku's emotions give people whiplash, and Bakugou begins to recognize what his actions did. Toshinori walked into the police station to turn in a villain before going to Tsukauchi's office. As soon as he stepped in and shut the door, he locked it and collapsed into his small form. He walked over and collapsed on the couch and let out a groan of pain. Bad day, huh? Tsukauchi asked, not looking up from his computer as he tapped furiously. No, just exhausting. I'm leaving the speed villains to Ingenium from now on. I had to run across town 3 separate times in 3 minutes. Toshinori sighed and sat up. What are you working on? Oh, don't even get me started. This case is a hellhole. A quirkless boy either killed himself or died in a hate crime, but there's no sign of where the body could be. I don't want to rely on the 13% chance he's alive, but I don't know what else it could be. He just seemingly disappeared. The last sighting of him was walking home from the school when the sledge villain attacked, actually. Tsukauchi spun over to Torsionari. How the hell didn't I think of this? You're the one to turn in the sledge villain. Did you see a kid around then? About 165 centimeters tall, green hair and green eyes. Toshinori's face must have shown the horror on his face because Tsukauchi stopped talking. Huh. So you did see him. What was the last you saw of him? Toshinori swallowed. I saved him from the sledge villain, and when I was jumping away to leave, he latched onto my leg. Tsukauchi's face twisted into horror before Toshinori frantically waved his hands in front of his face. No, he didn't fall. Don't worry, he didn't fall to his death from my leg. He followed me onto a rooftop and asked if he could be a hero while quirkless. I said no and left because my limit was practically up at that point. Toshinori internally winced, but was technically the truth. His limit was so near up that he couldn't even throw a punch in his muscle form. Tsukauchi stared at the man before slapping his forehead with a palm. You told a potentially suicidal, quirkless child that he couldn't be a hero and then left him on a rooftop? I didn't know he was suicidal, Toshinori complained in protest, and Tsukauchi sighed. You have a point, and the circumstances did force you to leave, but great. Well, that confirms that he killed himself, but you said his body was never found, right? Toshinori tried. Yeah, and if he really did jump. Toshinori flinched at the blunt wording of it, but he supposed it was likely true. Then his body would have been found relatively easily. You think it's the villains? Toshinori asked, worried. Tsukauchi pinched the bridge of his nose. Likely, it might be him, maybe experimenting on quirkless. He's dead. I killed him 5 years ago, Toshinori stated firmly. They were not having this conversation again. You never saw the body. You never saw the body of a quirkless child, and yet he is most likely dead. You just said that he could be alive due to villains. Tsukauchi sighed, exasperated. End of discussion. There's a chance he could be alive. They sat in silence for a moment before Toshinori silently got up and walked over to the door. Before he could open it, he was interrupted by Tsukauchi's voice. Do you really think he's dead? There was genuine concern laced in his voice. Toshinori lowered his head, hand shaking on the doorknob. Yes, I truly think All for One is dead. Toshinori turned the knob and walked out of his office. Both of them knew it was a lie. Katsuki couldn't feel his body. His legs felt like lead. He felt limp against the couch with one sentence from his mother. Izuku Midoriya died either in a hate crime or a suicide. Katsuki knew how the boy had died. He was the cause of death. His childhood best friend had just killed himself because of him. Katsuki wanted to punch something. He wanted to blow something up. Why didn't he see it going this far? Why wasn't he aware of it going this far? His blind hatred of the kid had made him forget that he was human too, a fact that not many people seemed to be aware of based on the reaction in class when the teacher responded to the question of, "Where's Deku?" He and his mother moved away. They won't be coming back. The class instantly broke into chatter, speculation flying between them. Katsuki just put his head on his desk and tried to drown out the sound. Unfortunately for him, his friend had other plans. He felt a finger tap him on the shoulder, and he turned around to see the finger bastard smiling at him. "Do you really think he took your advice? Knowing him, Deku probably failed at killing himself and got put in a mental hospital. Served the quirkless bastard right, thinking he could contend with you." Katsuki's vision went red, and the next thing he knew, he was kneeling on the finger bastard's chest as he coughed up blood. Explosions popping in Katsuki's hand. The teacher had put a hand on his shoulder, and Katsuki swatted away angrily. "What the hell, Bakugou? What the fuck did I do to piss you off this much?" "Shut the fuck up, you bastard! You don't get to say shit about him!" Katsuki punched him in the face, and a few kids pulled him off the asshole as he coughed up blood. The teacher grabbed his wrist and pulled him up. "Bakugou, office now!" His tone left no room for argument, and Katsuki stormed out of the room. He wasn't going to the office, though. He was going home. As soon as he got home, both his parents were out, thankfully. He opened his computer and went to the search bar. He quickly typed in "what makes a hero," because Katsuki wasn't sure he knew yet. "So, where the hell am I?" Izuku rubbed the back of his head as he sat up. He looked around at the small area he was in. It looked like an abandoned house after Endeavor was done with it. The other boy looked up from his book. "My home. I know it isn't much, but I couldn't just leave you to bleed out on the sidewalk." "You should have," Izuku interrupted. He stood up and walked towards one of the open walls, looking down the 4-story drop. "I'm a worthless, quirkless Deku. Just let me die, kid. First off, I'm your age. Second, who ever told you that being quirkless made you worthless?" "Everyone." "Why?" "Everyone's now on my shit list. Anybody else?" The kid looked up to Izuku, a tired, deadpan look in his eyes that was only amplified by his eye bags. And for the first time in a while, Izuku let out a tired chuckle. A tired, genuine chuckle. "Ah, no, that's everybody, I'm afraid." He held out a hand for the other boy who had closed his book. "Izuku Midoriya." The other boy took it and shook his head. Hitoshi Shinso. But seeing as I just saved your damn life, you can call me Hitoshi." "Likewise." Izuku nodded, and Hitoshi let out a snort. "Okay, Hitoshi." Izuku stared at the other boy for a moment before giving him a playful shove. "Not what I meant," Izuku grumbled, suppressing a smirk. Yeah, I get it, Izuku." He looked up to Hitoshi, a tear sliding down his face, despite his best efforts to suppress it. "Oh shit, what'd I do wrong? Oh fuck." Hitoshi stood up and walked over to Izuku, hesitantly putting an arm around him and pulling him into a tight hug. Hitoshi stood up and walked over to Izuku, hesitantly putting an arm around him and pulling him into a tight hug. It's fine. It's been so long since someone other than my mom has called me by my name." The two sat in silence, Hitoshi quietly eating a granola bar as he studied. Finally, Izuku broke the silence. "You're training to be a hero, right? That requires physical training as well as training your quirk." "What are you suggesting?" Hitoshi stopped eating his granola bar and looked up to Izuku. "We have 10 months before UA. Let's do some training."
Blooper time.
"No, just exhausting. I'm leaving the speed villains. 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 It is villains, pugs." The kid looked up to Izuku, a tired, deadpan look in his eyes that was only amplified by his sleep bags. I mean, oh my god. Okay, so I just watched the Wisdom Saga live stream. If you haven't listened to any of Epic the Musical, you need to go listen to it. But I just finished watching the live stream, and what the fuck? What the fuck? Hello? You can't just end it like there. You cannot do that. That is not okay, okay? I still haven't watched the Tales of Kazalor final stream because I know I'm not going to be emotionally ready for that. I know I'm not. I was not emotionally ready for this. I thought I was, but apparently I'm not. So I'm gonna go watch that. I may come back to rant about that afterwards, but probably not. It is 10:01 for me. I recorded this all yesterday. I meant to have it up today, but then work, and I've had a headache all day. And now this. So this probably won't be up until tomorrow. But you know what? That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, no, I am not okay with that. How dare? How dare? What the fuck? Just what the fuck, okay? Okay? Like, no! Absolutely not! I can't do this. I cannot do this. What? No! You can't end it like that. You can't end it like that and not Okay, I'm gonna go now before I freak out anymore. I just had to rant about that for a bit. Okay. I'll see you guys, or I don't know. I'll read to you guys later. Bye.
Okay, so I said I was gonna not be done with ranting, but I got a haircut today, and my hair was like a few inches past my shoulders, and I have really thick, like heavy hair, and it is now like a little bit above my shoulders, which I love it. I love it so much. I got a wolf cut, and I absolutely love it so much. Yeah, it's fun. I love playing with it. It's like that new feeling, you know? It's like a lot easier to take care of for me. And like, so a few months ago, I started bleaching my hair. I went from a very dark, like red, to it's now like almost a platinum blonde. There's still like yellow in it, but that's fine. I don't really care. It's almost completely platinum, which I don't want it to be like entirely platinum. I'm okay with how it is right now. But anyway, so it like it changed, like drastically changed, right? And I had to bleach it like maybe 6 or 7 times. And like ends of my hair were already damaged. 11, woo. Ends of my hair were already damaged, like really badly. I hadn't cut my hair in like a year at that point. And so the ends were all split. It was like starting to get too hard to take care of, and it was like starting to like tiny bit dread at the very like in the back middle, because my hair does that if it gets too long. And then so it's just really not good to take care of and not good for my hair. And so I needed to get a cut anyways, but I finally did it today, and I loved it, and we were done so quickly. Like, it was really quick. I think it was like 15 minutes it took her, which usually my grandpa and grandma take me, or my grandma used to when she was alive, but my grandpa always takes me to this one place, and one time I got a pixie cut. My hair was at my shoulders. I wanted a pixie cut, okay? It took them an hour and 45 minutes to do a pixie cut, and I hated it. I hate getting my hair cut because I can feel all the little hairs everywhere, and sensory issues, like very bad sensory issues, and I just hate the experience, right? I didn't have any of that today. None of that. I'm not dealing with like hairs all over my back. I'm not dealing with like the itchiness on my scalp or anything. Because weird like tools that I don't use daily touch head, and oh my god, it was just very, very good experience. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Okay, yeah. That's it for tonight. I'm gonna try. Okay, wait. Where's my note? Oh no, my note app. Please don't have been deleted. Ignore me. Ignore that. Where's notes? Why don't I see notes? I'm blind. I'm not wearing my glasses. I didn't wear my glasses to work today. I should have, but I just didn't. Okay. Where's my notes? Where's my note app? Because I have all the right now I have all the fix that I'm doing on a notepad and on my laptop. I should probably put them somewhere more where I'm not gonna accidentally delete it. But oh well, I'm not that smart, okay? So I'm currently working on recording Guardian Angel by me, Bard's Ceremony by me. This one starring Sharing Scars Snuggling. I think that's by an orphan account. And then Deku just uploaded You Can Be a Hero by... Who's it by? I can't pronounce the name. I have a hard time pronouncing the name. I need to ask how to pronounce the name. I should do that. I'm gonna do that right now. But it's Deku just uploaded You Can Be a Hero by IARRELM, okay? I absolutely love this fic so much. If you get the chance before I read it, you need to read it because it is so good. It is like my favorite Deku YouTuber podfic fanfic ever, okay? It honestly inspired Aura and Yuka, which I'm finally doing a full series on, so you'll see more of that, and it will tie in Aura and Yuka Quirk Talk and Aura and Yuka, what's the other one? I can't keep anything straight, okay? I'm tired. I have a migraine. I think I'm starting to get sick. My siblings are sick, and whenever they get sick, I start to get sick. So, yeah. I think that's why my voice was so, like, itchy and scratchy on the thingies. But oh well. Happy birthday, Yuka, and Aura and Yuka Quirk Talk. I will tie in those and explain more about that. But also, yeah. Anyway, I'm so excited. I'm hoping maybe I can do the full series. I don't know. I haven't asked yet. I should. I just get anxiety about asking because, when I had my very first podfic channel, before I knew what podfics were, I was like 13K, and I had asked someone if I could podfic a work, and it was in my Wattpad era too, and this person just went off on me on how dare I ask them, and just being very, very rude to me, and it was like very uncalled for, and genuinely made me so upset that I did not do another podfic. And so here it is, many years later, and I'm doing this now, and I'm not going to tell you what my last podfic channel was, because that doesn't need to be shared anywhere. But yeah. Anyway, God, this rant is a lot longer than I thought it would be. I don't care. I'm not going to edit it. I'm tired. Yeah. Anyway, I will ask how to pronounce that, because I don't want to pronounce it wrong and maybe offend someone, you know? But I also feel weird about asking, because it's like, it looks so easy. It's like IARRELM. It looks so easy, but I don't know. Oh. Wait, oh no. My mic isn't on. So either I've just been recording in silence this entire time, or it's not going to be connected to... Oh well, I'm not redoing this. Okay, I'll read at you guys later, or I don't know. I'll figure out an exit and an intro. Well, bye.